soil samplers. It is not sampling, sampler. What do you mean by sampler? Sampler is a tool. If you are not happy to use this word tool, it is an equipment used for collecting soil sample. It is just a tube. It is just a tube. It is a chinna pipe and chinna pipe. It is just like ala anakodu gani tube antaru. Meeku nenu split spoon tube chupicha. Ila open cheste soil sample bayitiki vachestund. Okay, so I have shown you the dimensions of split spoon: 45 centimeter, 450 mm, 450 mm. Now coming to soil samplers. This is very important thing. There are two types of soil samplers. Types of soil samplers. So undoubtedly there are two types. One is thick wall. The second one is thin wall. These are quite popular words. Thick walled sampler, thin walled sampler. Okay, the difference is thickness of wall. So here you can see now, these are the quite commonly used samplers. Okay, thin wall and thick wall. This actually comes under open drive samplers. And apart from that, we are having piston sampler, and we are having block samplers. Block samples also called chunk samples. Okay, now thick wall. What do you mean by thick wall? Someone can ask me, what do you mean by thick wall? See, before I turning the page, what I would like to tell you, if you increase the thickness of the sampler, here you see how to get thickness. Thickness of the sampler is usually, they are hollow. Actually, they are hollow sections. They are just cylindrical tubes, cylindrical pipes. The thickness, how to get thickness? Can anyone say? How to get the thickness of the pipe? Thickness of the tube? Outer minus inner by 2. Outer diameter minus inner diameter by 2. Am I correct? Outer diameter minus inner diameter by 2, which gives the thickness of the tube. So here you see what I would like to tell you. If the thickness is small, small in the sense, let me say the thickness of this tube is 1 mm. Even it is less than 1 mm also. I can say 0.6 mm. Sometimes we may use 1.2 mm like that. Okay, if the thickness is very small, sometimes thickness is 3 mm. Usually, the 1 mm, if the thickness of the sampling tube is 1 mm, we can call it as thin-walled sampler. Usually thin-walled sampler. Whereas if thickness is 3 mm, like that, then we call thick-walled sampler. So if you see here, I want UD soil samples. You need to use thin-walled samplers. Especially if you use a piston sampler, you know, it is gradually inserting sampler into the ground with the piston. So if you use a driving energy like impact energy, obviously the disturbance will increase. That's why it is always welcoming to use thin-walled sampler, and we need to put a pressure. We need to put a energy, especially energy in the form of a piston mechanism, will reduces the disturbance. So UD soil samplers, if you want to connect UD soil samples, you should use thin-walled sample. If you want to collect disturbed soil samples, this is a very widely used word, UD sample. UD sample means undisturbed soil sample. చాలా మంది మీరు ఇంజనీర్ అయ్యాక ఏం తెచ్చారంటే సార్ ల్యాబ్కి వస్తారు. ల్యాబ్కి వచ్చి సార్ నేను యూడి శాంపుల్ తెచ్చానండి అంటారు. What do you mean by UD? Undisturbed soil sample. D means disturbed soil samples, where you use thick-walled samplers. Thick-walled samplers. So this is the story of soil sampling. Soil sampling. Now I will try to show. I will try to present something to you. Okay. So let me see now. Let me show you. See here. You see, outside diameter is 50.8. Inside the diameter is 47.63. So the thing is, one can easily understand the difference. One can see now. 50 minus 47. It is 13. 3. It is 3. Now 3 by 2. So it is 3 by 2. It is almost 1.5 mm. That means, see here, it is just within 1 to 2 mm. 1 to 2 mm. So usually thin-walled samplers is having thickness 1 to 2 mm. 1 to 2 mm. So generally Shelby tubes are used. I told you Shelby tubes means they are manufactured with seamless aluminum. Okay. Now let me proceed now. See here, you see, this is Shelby tube. I will show you once again. 50.8 outer diameter. Inner diameter is 47.63. What is the length of the soil sample? 450 mm. 450 mm. Okay. So now let me tell you about thick-walled sampler. Thick-walled. As I spoken about thick-walled sampler, it is split-spoon sampler. Split-spoon sampler comes under category of thick-walled sampler. But the thing here is, let me show you. This is 450 mm. I will tell you once again. Okay. 38 inner diameter, outer diameter 50. Now, undoubtedly, what is the thickness now? What is the thickness now? Thickness is equal to 50 minus 38 by 2. So it is about 6 mm. About 6 mm. So thick-walled samplers are meant for collection of disturbed soil samples. Collection of disturbed. Here you see, this is sampler. Sampler is connected to drilling ground. Sampler is coupled with drilling ground. So that is the meaning here. You see, this is the end of the sampler should be sharp. It must have some cutting edge. So that I am going to discuss now. You don't worry. I'm going to discuss in detail about the sampling tube and cutting edge. Okay. Now here you see. Just now I told you. Here you see sampler. Okay. See, I'm going to insert the sampler using piston. Here you see piston. See, once I open the piston, sampler is penetrating into the soil. Now you can see, after piston is released, now the sampler is penetrating into the sample. This is what I call piston sampler. Usually, if you give any piston mechanism, you can able to reduce the disturbance. So samples are undisturbed. So please understand, if you want to reduce the disturbance, we need to use some piston. We need to give piston mechanism to sampler. We need to attach piston so that the sample will easily penetrate. That means without any disturbance, it is going to be penetrate into the soil. We can reduce. So if you want to reduce the disturbance, you need to collect hand-carved samples. As I told you, chunk sample. So what they will do, so they will open the soil. See, like this, you see, they will dig the excavation. See, in the ground, they will dig the excavation. Okay. After excavation, what they will do, see, while they are doing excavating, you see, they will not excavate the middle portion. They will excavate the soil around the middle portion. Now what they will do, they will insert one box. The size of the box is 1 feet by 1 feet. 1 feet by 1 feet, 30 centimeter. 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter. They will insert one box. Now they will collect the soil sample. So, and what they will do, bottom they need a support. So bottom, they will introduce spade. They will introduce spade at the bottom. Now they will remove the soil sample. So this is what I say, hand carved sample. That means by using hand, people trying to collect this sample. So now thing is, after collecting sample, we need to apply paraffin wax. Why you are applying paraffin wax? It's a good question. The reason why you are applying wax at the top, bottom of the sample is the reason we need to preserve the moisture.